For those, some of you haven't had the opportunity and some of you have not, but we hired Lori Fambro as our Human Resources Director approximately 3 years ago, so I'd like, I'd like for Lori to stand up so that you all know exactly who she is. She's a welcome addition to the team. Her credentials are good. She comes to us from the Del Rio area, and I just wanted to introduce her to the council who haven't met her.
Welcome, Lori. Thank
Welcome.
you. Thank you very much. Any other public comments?
Well, yesterday we had our quarterly safety meeting with KNMP, and something came up that I find it hard to understand at times, but people leaving children, babies in the back of the car. It's happening more often. The sad thing about it, Texas leads the nation in pediatric deaths in vehicles. So just to remind people, you know, even pets, you know, you have pets, you can easily forget them in the back. I use that word easily, but it's hard for me to fathom how you can forget something outside in the back that you put in, you know, a child, especially a child, but it happens, you know, so please be aware of it. Please pay attention to your children, your pets, the elderly, and especially right now at this time where it's, this Councilperson Trujillo mentioned the heat. You know, you have elderly folks, elderly neighbors, please check on them. So, just wanted to say that. Announcement, I guess.
Thank you.
Mayor, just like to make a comment that maybe someone can follow up on, that the street lights from Stafford to about Uncle's on Main Street was out last night. I don't know if it's additional nights or not, but with the no lines down Eddy Street, it makes it a little worse.
I was turning in this morning. I was told that the lights are working, but I will look at them in the morning.
Thank you.
There for a while, they were on every single day,
All day long.
and now they're out at night.
And then the other day they were strobing. They were strobing whenever I was driving.
Well, that's the next step. We'll try to hook them up to some music so they'll.
So they're supposed to look that way, right?
Intentionally.
Did you call me? Sir, that's your problem? I mean, was that?
Thank you, Mayor.
And I just want to comment, I sent a text to Holly. I got a sneak peek on some benches that are coming to the parks, and I'm real excited.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to leave the presentation for August 25th. It's going to be presented by Mary Kerman and Edward DeLeon. This is going to be pretty exciting to see. So just everybody be sure to show up. I'm excited to see the final presentation myself.
Any other public comments? Okay, we will go on to the consent agenda. Approve the minutes of the July 25th, 2024 regular city council meeting. Approve the minutes of the July 30th, 2024 special city council meeting. Review the PEDC second quarter report and review the expenditure report.
I have a question about the monthly insurance premium for park on page 25. Exactly what does that cover? It's $1,000.
I'm going to tell you more. Give me just a second.
See, more curious because then on the next page, there's also, it restates it, only it's for only $76.06 on page 26.
I don't not know why it tells you that it's a monthly insurance premium on parks. Security benefits is our 457B plan. So it's deductions that are coming out of paychecks that are being remitted to security benefit. They're our 457B plan. I do not know why that
Why it says park?
is park.
Okay.
I will follow up with Amherst and
That's what
find
threw
out. Yeah, no, it is not. It is a payroll item that goes into, that is remitted to security benefit.
Hey,
That
Charles,
might make more sense.
on page 10, the replacement of shades and splash pad that's being paid, they're paying the 4B Recreation Group, LLC? Is that it?
That's her name. Is that the name, Holly, of the
Yes.
group?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
That's
not our
correct.
EDC. That's the name of that's her company name, Randy.
Yes.
Okay, and right below that, what are we doing on Highway 17 in Stafford? We're paying engineering fees.
That's one that we've been working on. It's a project that's was started before my time. And there's a plan to put in a light and a little S-turn right there where 17, where Stafford runs into 17. We're working on procuring the land, but all of the engineering plans have been in place. Holly has bi-weekly meetings with them on the progress of it. And these are just partial payments that are done. The actual contract with Landstar was approved, I think in 2019 or 2020.
Yeah,
It's been several years.
2019.
But it's just an ongoing project that has taken longer than I would like, but we are making progress on it right now.
Is that the connection from Stafford to Industrial Boulevard?
It will, yes, sir. That is exactly what it is. And we've had a little bit of discussion because we've had to, TxDOT was in, TxDOT was out, TxDOT was in, TxDOT was out. Right now, TxDOT is back in from, due to the proximity to the access roads and the interstate. So TxDOT is back in. And we're just, I think the last thing that we are waiting on now, besides the land piece that we're working on, is going to be the railroad. And we're waiting on the railroad to come back with the final stuff. And the railroads do not move very fast.
Yeah. And my understanding is still, there's supposed to be a traffic light there?
There will be a traffic light there, yes, sir.
It's going to be kind of backing up with the other.
That's why TxDOT has jumped in and is coordinating to where they will have to be synchronized, there's no doubt.
Yes, sir.
Another traffic light?
Yes, sir. They've been beneficial.
Yes.
The only ones who don't like them is, the only ones that don't like them is our city attorney
Yep.
and a few other people right
And
now.
apparently the
The
councilman.
councilman
But
evidently.
I can say that we've had a lot of public comment on the ones that we installed on Cedar Street, and we had a lot of pushback, a lot of blowback on those. But now it seems like the only feedback I hear is how wonderful they are. And they have not impeded traffic in the least. The only thing that impedes traffic is a train.
At least we got them to stop blocking
Yes, sir.
to it, right?
And on page 18, rebuild of vehicle and equipment's $598,000.
That is one that our landfill supervisor, Pedro, brought to you all probably about 2.5 months ago. That is the complete rebuild of the other compactor that we had out there. We did buy the new one last year, and this is for the rebuild, so that we now have 2 compactors that are operational. And even though that's a lot of money, the price of that compactor, if we were to try to buy it, is a little over $2 million. So it was a complete rebuild of the motor.
Okay.
So in essence, we have 2 brand-new
Does
compactors.
that stuff have a warranty, or is it, once a...
This wasn't, this is an old machine.
No, I meant the rebuild.
The rebuild was not.
It
Because
doesn't have a warranty?
Well, it did, but that piece of equipment was, I think, 12 or 15 years
Oh,
old.
when we spend that $598,000, will that have?
It does, it does.
stand up
It has a
for the
5-year warranty on the motor. And that's the main piece that we have to get and control the hours on. Yes, sir, it does.
Then the next page, kickball T-shirts, $100,000?
How much?
$100,000?
That's probably wrong. That's what your all's cost. That's how come you all have those up there.
I went to go look into
I didn't have my splashes on,
You're scaring me, Randy.
On the Healthiest You, Teledoc, is that what the fee is every month, or is it dependent on how often it gets used? It's on page 38 for $15.99.
It's based on, is it the fee every month?
Yeah, depending on how many users we have.
It's based
So
on,
that fee-
we have a
amount
base
changes.
plus, yes ma'am, that
Gotcha.
varies
Okay.
each month.
Okay, Is there a second quarter EDC report for us to review? There's nothing attached.
For June 30th?
It says
Oh,
review
no, ma'am,
the
I'm
second
sorry.
quarter report.
No, ma'am. Mr. Dutchover is going to give that verbally.
But it's part of our consent agenda.
So it has to be moved from consent
Non-consent,
to non-consent from that standpoint.
well, it's in there.
All the budgets.
No questions?
Make a motion.
Second.
It's just 2 items.
Second?
Are we alleviating the PEDC second quarter report out of that?
Do we have to?
Well, we
We
haven't
don't
seen it.
have a report.
I know, but it doesn't matter.
Well,
Take it out.
I would think so. We can't approve something we haven't seen.
But we can,
It has to exclude the PEDC second.
I know, we're not really.
It has to come back at.
But it's not there.
At
But
either
we
the
can't
next
review
meeting
it either.
or be added.
We don't see it.
so the motion has to be approved.
Excluded.
Yeah, and just presented excluded.
Jimmy's going to be able to get it verbally during this consent agenda time, but I think, I don't know, it's up to council whether they just want to push this to the next meeting and then see a printed report from Mr. Dutchover. That's up to council.
I'd rather see it.
Okay.
It could just be as an attachment in our next one.
Yes, ma'am. Do we want to modify the
Motion.
motion?
To exclude.
Not really.
What's your motion, Art?
No, I already made the motion, I seconded it.
Okay, got a motion from Councilman Graham to approve the consent agenda, a second from Councilman Arona. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Let the record show the motion carries. Go on to item F1, non-consent agenda. Discuss, consider approving the 2024-2025 Pecos 4B Economic Development 2024-25 budget. Jimmy Dutchover.
Mayor, Council, the budget that was presented to you in your packet is actually the 2024-2025 budget that the board adopted at the end of July. With that in mind, if you compare it to last year's, the total revenue, and I'll break it down into sections and then I'll entertain any questions that you have. The projected revenue of this year is almost $400,000 or $300,000 more. That is the commitment from Reeves County, a total of $300,000. That's the biggest of the jumps, in which they will be providing us 10 installments in their fiscal year. We received we're scheduled to receive $270,000 this year, which was part of y'all's amended budget. In the total advertising, it's gone from $10,000 to a total of $132,000. Part of that is for advertising and national, state, and promotions that we are targeting. Why Pecos? You know, these companies that we're choosing, that we are screening and going after aggressively. You know, we need to do something that is also going to help us continue to recruit and diversify from the point of where we're at just with liquid fuel. We want to use that natural gas and make the most of it with all the rules and regulations that are changing, not only at the state level, but the federal level. So that's the biggest of the changes there. The other is that the board felt as though we needed to be more visible with local events that are being held throughout our community. So they have put $50,000 into that section.
You got any examples of what you got may be spent on?
You know, of course, Night in Old Pecos was one of the things that we looked at, the rodeo, golf tournaments, activities that bring in the kids for the baseball complex, things that are going to actually promote what we need to do to try and get people here to start to think about, wait a minute, is Pecos really a good place to live, and let's showcase it the best way that we possibly can. Enhance everything that's already being done at the level of the city and the county, and all those that are dealing with the nonprofit organizations. So, the next biggest one is the business attraction, where we've gone from $400,000 to $425,000. We broke this up into the local grants because we felt that as we went knocking on the doors and providing these $20,000 local incentives as a match, we found a lot of takers. We've already issued out over $150,000 in grants, and we still have 2 more to go that hopefully we'll get into this fiscal year. The other is the commercial incentives that hopefully Mr. Lino will share with you in executive session with regards to economic development and some contracts and agreements that have already come or are taking place. We're just waiting for the attorneys on the other end to work with our attorney. And it's going to be something that is going to be hopefully very exciting for the town of Pecos City as we start to develop and use up the areas, not only the ones along 285, but those that are county-owned property, the 140 acres, the areas that is 290 acres, which is behind Love's, Microtel, and then the area behind or south of the man camp, and then where the baseball complex is. So all of those areas are going to start to be developed. And we need to be prepared for it. The next one is on the business development. We removed the special project of the $2 million, thanks to the grant that was awarded to the town of Pecos City with cooperation with the Hidden Heroes. We were going to fund that last year from our fund balance. The Economic Development Corporation Board challenged me and said, go find a way for us to find the money so we don't have to use ours and we can leverage it for something else. By doing so, we went to the congressman and found the money that would help us with the Hidden Hero project. So that's going to offset some of the expenses for the infrastructure expenses of the $2 million. So you can see a big decrease in that amount right there from $2.3 million to a total of $501,000.
You think that'll be spent this year, the new year coming up?
Are we talking about from the congressman's money?
Well, that and plus the $500,000.
This will actually be of the money that we'll spend next year, beginning October. Yes, we have some major cleanups that are going to have to be done. There's areas of this development that are going to take place where people just threw trash. We found that out at the extension of the complex, the baseball complex. So there's going to be some cleanups that have to be done. And it's really the compacting. It's no longer an issue of, how did Mr. Lino explain it to me, after 25 years?
Yeah, closure and post-closure.
There you go. But we've done sample studies already, and there's no problem with any of the things that are going out there. So it's just cleaning it up, making sure that we can compact it and build on top of it. The professional services, which are on page 1 of, on page 2. Well, it's towards the end. We actually broke up this amount because we put in architectural fees and engineering fees, but also our grant writer. The commitment that the county did for the Economic Development Corporation is we spend the first $50,000 of our money to identify the grants that are necessary, that we think we're going to get a good bang for our buck. The next $50,000 comes from the Reeves County budget of the $300,000 that they provide to us, and then anything that is done after that goes to Mr. Lino, which saves everybody. The county's not spending $150,000 for a grant writer, and neither is the city. So we're doing more with less, is what we're getting done.
You don't have a grant writer, who is it?
His name is Dr. Jose, or Dr. Joseph Viescas out of El Paso. So once we got to that $50,000 limit, we put it out, the RFQ, having somebody that knows what's going on, that can help me, that understands what we're trying to grow over here in Pecos, in Reeves County, and we were blessed because it's working. As you can start to hear about all the excitement and not spending our money, we're leveraging the project and land development as our in-kind service, in-kind payment. And again, you get more bang for the buck is what ends up happening. Down in the bottom, we also have other professional services, which is subdivided in the new budget, and that was for the economist, because as we start to try and develop downtown to be more attractive, not only for today, but for tomorrow and the years to come, we need that influence and that leadership, that knowledge of what is out there that the economists are looking for. And although he's going to grad school or to law school during his vacation time, we're taking advantage of it. So that's what that part of
Who's the economist?
Rodrigo Estrada. He received a bachelor and master's from the University of Chicago and is now going to Harvard Law School. So, and then on page 3, we have a few big items. If you look at all the expenses and then you look at the net operating, we show a minus of $406,000. That amount will zero out if we don't use the engineering fees or nor the commercial incentives. It's basically a wash. This is as close as we could get to it. But on the bottom part is the key component of how our auditor asked me to put it on the budget. The $1.88 million is the land sales that we will be providing, the 10.8 acres of land, where we will get reimbursed from the grant for land that is owned by the Economic Development Corporation, but is being sold for the purpose at a discounted rate to the Hidden Hero Grant project for Phase 1 and Phase 3 only. Phase 2, where the police station is not included in this. This is just Phase 1 and 3. Those funds should be able to be drawn hopefully by the end of November. So at the omnibus bill that will come up, that's when all the signatures take place. So as we start to spend money, we will do it only for the infrastructure part, not for the land sale yet. So it's a wash back and forth. We make a little bit of money, but we're doing it at a discounted rate so that when the individuals that are living there buy it, they're not being gifted anything. They're buying it just at a reduced rate. And then it just becomes a recruiting tool for each of the taxing entities. The basis of the $373,000 is a correction. The Harrison property was sold at below market value, so that hopefully we can get retail commercial going and it'll generate sales tax. We have, which is $92,000. $129,000 is for 42 acres of the water park that we would be giving to the Reeves County. In addition, they're going to switch and give money or land back to us, but nevertheless, it has to be taken off of the basis. The other is $148,000 of value for the Troy Vines, and then $4,300, which is the acreage behind Pilot. That is what is on the books, but we cannot, by law, just give it away. We have to actually sell it for close to market value. Sort of like what we ended up doing by purchasing the land between Worldwide Auto and TxDOT, which we should get the paperwork here in the next 30 days for complete sale.
How much discount did you get on the Harrison land? So how much discount did y'all give?
It totaled $92,000.
The discount?
That was a discount.
That's the same one that's asking for an abatement?
Yes, sir.
So with the sale of the land, the corrections to the abatements, we end up with a $1.1 million profit, which just selling the land allows us the opportunity to go get more land for the housing that is needed.
Are you still using sales tax dollars to purchase property?
No, ma'am. No.
Is that all out of the sales?
All of out of the the other account, I guess, that y'all set up, which was very wise. You know, you go back and you think about it, all the years back, well, where are we going to use that money? When are we going to use it? If you cannot use sales tax money for the benefit of general public. It cannot be done. It has to be done with other revenue. And the only way to do it is to use the sale of land, revenue that we get from royalties, damage to land where they're drilling, those type of things, interest, income. But the sales tax is put in one account, and this is the other.
When
So
the property sold, is the cost, I mean, if sales tax dollars were used, was the initial cost put back in the sales tax and then any profit put in the other account?
yes, ma'am.
Does that work?
Everything will go back into account number 2 that I think,
I mean, is it just the profit or is it the whole thing?
everything goes in there. Everything, in other words, all of it goes in, and then the basis comes out from any of the other accounts. It can come out from either one. I think, am I answering it the way you want, your
I'm not sure.
understanding?
I'm not sure.
Any sales that is other than sales tax money goes into, everything of sales tax goes into account number 1. Everything else that we get, grants, anything else goes into account number 2.
I was just wanting to see if the sales tax account was being reimbursed for the initial cost, and then, of course, any profit off of any sale. If the initial cost was going back to sales tax account, and then any profit going into the other account for future.
No,
It
ma'am.
all goes into the other.
It all goes into the other account.
Should it be that way?
That's the way that Kim has it set up. And that's the way that, I'm just following the steps that we've always taken. And she found no problem with the way that we did it last year. I'll ask her. I'll be more than glad
It
for
just
it.
seems like the initial sales tax dollars should go back into the sales tax dollar account, and then any profit to go into that other account for future purchases.
Mr. Lino's the expert. He might have an understanding of what.
But you're
I'm not an
not
expert in
purchasing
these.
any property with sales tax.
No, we're never
Not
per,
anymore.
no.
Say not anymore, but.
And not
whenever we use
to the
that.
best of my knowledge, no.
Yeah, and honestly, I do not know either. It's something that I would rely on Mr. Dutch over. I would follow up on it and look at it too to make sure that there's not. I have reviewed and I've had the conversations with their auditor, and from her perspective, everything from a legal standpoint is being followed. So, I mean, I probably can have a conversation with her to verify that.
With any time that what Councilman Phillips was alluding to, that was ever done, that we need to rectify.
And even this part, it was brought up because we were putting it inside regular income, the sales of the land. And she said, look, you can do it like that, and I have no problem, but think about what you're doing. So as we talked about it, with Mr. Lino being part of the conversation, it was decided that we would put it down in the other income and do it based on land sales and based on basis, so that we know what we're eventually writing off and why, if there's ever such a thing, or what we're selling and why, and how are we getting reimbursed for it.
So what are examples that we can use tax dollars for?
Sales tax dollars, the operation.
Just the operations and make.
Yep. And if you look on the top, on the very first page of the income, we did not have a lot of activity from the trucking company that uses a track for, you know, it was just down. They just did not have a reason to go and use it. And,
Is that something that y'all are marketing out to try and get more use out of?
well, it's a
Or is
third party.
that-
Lantana does it. Texas Lantana does it for us. It's not something that we do. And therefore, we pay them a fee, a percentage of the income that is generated. But these last 7 months, we've had no income from it.
It's not good?
Well, that's why I projected so much less, because they do it seemed like only in the cooler months, which is October and November, and then after that, they're not as eager to do it. So, you know, you would think with the price.
It's a great facility to not really be utilized well.
Well, Lantana does their part, but it's the truckers that go in there for using the test tracks to run and test things for mileage, wipers, mud flaps, believe it or not, all those others. And then what Lantana does is who they contract for their special projects.
But how is, yeah, and
It's
I
not
think
us.
that the tough piece is, I don't see how us contracting Lantana, if they're not marketing it and getting more activity, it's even a viable operation from their standpoint. So I know that it's always reimbursed, and I think it's at 50% or something.
20%.
20%?
Yes, sir.
So if this would continue, then I think maybe they're not, I don't see how they're gonna want to maintain, keep that contract, because they're throwing away money too, from that standpoint. They're not gonna make any money if they don't market it and get some activity.
Nope.
And that may be something that we talk about in the future, where maybe they're not the right.
Mix, they're not the right partner for us.
Yeah.
But I will tell you that marketing part of where we're going to spend that money in advertisement, it's hopefully, I mean, our goal is to take the money not only from the EDC, but look at the possibility of the city and the possibility of the county funds to market all of Pecos and Reeves County together. We don't want to duplicate the services. It's ludicrous. And we found success with the grant dollars, so let's figure out, or the grant writer, let's figure out how to do this for the marketing as well. And the theme that we're going to be putting out is why Pecos, Texas. You know, these investors that are coming in that Mr. Lino hopefully will share with you behind closed doors in executive session, and y'all got a chance to listen to part of it last time at your other special meeting. It can be very lucrative for Pecos if we do it right. I tell people this: somebody's trash is somebody's treasure. Let's go figure out what they need and how we can get it done over here in Pecos, Texas.
Maybe instead of why Pecos, Texas, why not Pecos?
Yeah,
Well, but that's the back of the shirt, the why Pecos first and why not, you know, so then it gives you the website and of course the Q code, and okay, take it, let's go. So it's we're trying to be very creative.
Double there, but.
No.
If you weren't going to share that part.
No, it's the back of the t-shirt, don't worry. I thought of the way that you think when the marketing of getting all these medical staff down here. I've seen you work, don't worry, I'll pick up a few things. I don't know if that answers all your questions. On my part, I apologize for not having it in the packet. There are certain things that the board didn't feel comfortable in sharing. That's why they wanted it read out. I will be more than glad to make it more generic, and then that way y'all have it in your packet. Because unfortunately, there are still a few of these projects that we cannot divulge as to what's going on yet until the ink is dry on all parts. So I'm not trying to hide anything, it's just that we're not ready yet, but Mr. Lino has all that information for y'all. Okay?
With that, Mayor, make a motion to approve that one. Presented by Mr. Bocelli, EDC Director.
We have a motion from Councilman Arona, a second from Councilman Graham to approve item F1 as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries.
Thank you all so very much.
Thank you, Mr. Dutchover.
You bet. Y'all enjoy your meeting.
Go on to item F2, update on Cyclone Ballpark's activity and events. Thomas Ward.
Thank you, esteemed council members and Madam Mayor, for allowing me to speak tonight. Just have some updates I wanted to share with y'all about what we've been doing out at the ballpark. I know it's a big piece, as Mr. Dutchover has mentioned a couple times there in his section. It's a big part of what we're doing out here in Pecos, and it's going to help draw a lot of people, and so we want to do our part at Cyclone to be a part of that. So the first thing I have is in your packets. It is a event recap for our Pecos Bills season and how we performed on the food and beverage side of things. Overall, our expenses totaled about $23,000. $11,000 of that was related to the cost of the goods we sold and the tickets we purchased as part of our hospitality package from the Pecos Bills. And about $12,000 of that was related to the labor we needed to be able to efficiently staff that facility with concession staff and maintenance staff to take care of any needs that might arise. Our revenue for the season came out to about $7,500 related to our hospitality area, $9,000 directly related to food and beverage, not including alcohol sales, and $5,000 to alcohol. We did have a loss due to waste, so these are items that we prepared, however, they did not sell, so we had to throw them away or give them away to whoever was there, so we didn't get to sell those, unfortunately. That totaled about $380. So we had more towards the beginning of the season, but by the end of the season, we did get down to where we were not really throwing away stuff. We identified how much we could prepare that wouldn't be a waste. And then our overall profit, we did lose about $1,300 on the season. Most of that related to the staffing that it takes to just minimal staffing for a facility to run. And I think part of that is not having enough people in the stands, unfortunately, does hurt us because our food and beverage sales were good, but not enough people were there to buy our stuff. As it says at the top of the page there, 8 of our 26 days were profitable for Cyclone. A couple of those were less than $30. Of those 8, 4 of them were due to the hospitality sales we had those days. Our per capita for food and beverage is something I wanted to point out. We did have a $12 per capita, so for every person that was in attendance, we were making $12. So I think with an additional attendance, we're going to make money and be able to recover our costs as an operation. Of that, about $4 was related just to alcohol sales. And I also wanted to point out something I shared with Mr. Lino earlier, I believe actually last week. The last game, we started a new thing, which is one of our wins we had. We started combos, so you could buy multiple things at the same time, and it would lower the price. We actually sold significantly more of that than we expected, and that increased our per capita to $15 per person. So that's something we're going to be rolling out on a regular basis for most of our events now, just to help drive that revenue and give people, the things that they're wanting: food, a drink, chips, candy, that kind of stuff. A couple other wins we had from the season. Our hospitality area was very well received from the entities that used it. Several shared that they were going to tell other people. So we did get, I think, one sale related to someone telling somebody else. So we're hoping that takes off in the future for other events and other programs that we try and do. We are hoping to host concerts out at the ballpark, which will be tied to hospitality, VIP areas, things like that. So that's going to help draw those sales. And then again, to me, the 380, even though it's still a waste, it was pretty low waste for the 26 games that we had overall. Most of that is related to hot dogs and hamburgers that we would prepare, but unfortunately weren't able to sell. Yeah.
What is your best-selling item?
Best-selling item? Ooh. Alcohol. Our thing that brought in the most was actually our 2 for $12 beer special. That we did specifically for the Pecos Bills. So you could get 2 beers for $12, whereas 1 beer was $7. So you save $2 on your sale. That actually ended up making us the most on that.
You define my question.
Yeah.
Food item.
Yeah. Our best-selling food item would probably be walking tacos and like nachos, that kind of stuff. The hot Cheetos and cheese are crazy out here. People love those. If I had to pick individual numbers, it would be pickles, because we gave away pickles as part of a promotion to return foul balls to us. So you got a free pickle for a foul ball. So that probably was the highest, but actual sales, I'd say like walking tacos, hot nachos, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So I just wanted to share those numbers with you because my goal is to keep event records like this for everything we do out there. I'm doing one right now for the Kickball League that hopefully a lot of y'all will get to join tonight. So we're trying to maintain these records because that's going to help us when we are preparing budgets on a year-to-year basis, because we actually have numbers that we can go back to, review, and use to build that budget and be accurate. So some other things that we've got going on that I wanted to share with you. We have some completed projects that if you haven't been out to Cyclone, I just wanted to make you aware of. First was we have chained off the logo out front in an effort to protect it from people driving over it. We want to keep it looking nice, so we've made it a chained off area to prevent people from driving up there. We've also put chains at both of the entrances up to that area. That way we can put it up in case if there's an event to keep people out, but they're easy to take down should EMS personnel or someone else need to get into the ballpark on an emergency. We have painted fire lane curbs out there in an effort to keep people from parking right in front of the facility. Again, for the emergency personnel, if they need to get out there, if they need to do something, we don't want them blocked by 20 cars parked in the front. We have seen a decrease in people parking there because of those fire lanes, so we were glad that we got those done. We have, at the beginning of the summer, right before the Pecos Bill season, we did replace all of the field fencing on Chevron Field, the first field there, where the Bills played. We used wire to put it on nice and tight, and it has withstood all of the wind and the weather that we get out there. So we are going through right now, it's actually part of our next thing, is we're working on fields 2 through 5 to redo all of them with the same style. That way they can withstand the wind a little bit better, and hopefully have less damage to the windscreens and keep dirt off of the turf fields out there. We have also increased our signage around the complex from a safety standpoint. We put up foul ball signage, especially with the big guys of the Pecos Bills. They hit the ticket booth a couple of times against the wall with the balls they were hitting, so we put up extra signage, put up some extra stuff just to keep people safe and aware of what's going on out there, and so that's been well received. And then most recently we had AstroTurf, who is the installer for all of our turf fields. They came out and did some preventative maintenance on all of the fields, repaired any damage that was done out there, helped re-level, cleaned them up, and they also installed new Velcro systems on Chevron Field. And what that's going to allow us to do is, as those batter boxes and the catcher's box wear out, we can rotate them, we can turn them, and we have 7 additional sets we can use. That way they'll last longer, so we'll have less maintenance that's going to have to be done on a year-to-year basis to take care of those areas, because those are the heavy use areas. Outside of the field fencing, a couple other projects we are working on right now. We are in the midst of an AC repair for the concession stand. We had some issues with it over the summer, unfortunately. It did go out. It is working again, however, we need a new controller, so we are working with a servicer to get a new controller out there to fix one of the units fully so that we don't have to worry about it going forward. And then the last ongoing project that I want to share with you is we are in the process of working on holidays. I know Christmas tree lighting is a big deal here in Pecos, so we're doing our part. We have gotten a proposal back from the Christmas tree lighting company. We're talking with them about what that looks like, trying to make sure we're providing the best possible program out there, and we're going to be including 25 days of Christmas and trying to make it really awesome for the citizens here in the community. So we'll have more information on that here in the coming months. Some other updates, things that I have been working on. We are in the talks with several rights holders for tournaments out at the ballpark. Most recently, I went to Starkville, Mississippi, to one of our other venues as part of sports facilities, and met with the Babe Ruth and Ripken people. They focus mostly, they have a large presence over on the East Coast. We're trying to convince them to come out here to far West Texas, because they're already in what they call West Texas. It's not West Texas. So we're trying to convince them to come out here and join us at Cyclone.
To the real West Texas.
To the real West Texas, yes. And they're interested, so we're hoping that they might be able to come and do a visit here in October, see the facility, and see what we might be able to make happen. We've also been in talks with PG on a national agreement as part of our company that would allow us to do a lot more. Not ready to share details on that yet, because we're still trying to figure out what that exactly looks like, and to make sure that it actually would be beneficial for us as a ballpark and for this community as well. We also have talked with a group called 2D Sports out of Louisiana. I believe Frank Ramos shared a little bit about that last council meeting. They want to start doing stuff here. One of the gentlemen who is the owner in the company has a pipeline company out here and wants to start doing some of their baseball tournaments, so we're excited to see what that looks like. And we've also been, of course, talking with NCS, who has been a partner with us before. In that same vein, here in September, myself and Jessica Kuhl will be going to Anaheim, California, to the Teams 2024 conference. We have 40 guaranteed appointments with rights holders, and the hope is that of that, most of those turn into scheduled tournaments at Cyclone. So we're going to be spending the whole week just talking to people, getting them to come out to the ballpark and get something on our schedule. So we're really excited about that. And then Jessica did also want me to share with you that she will be coming in October. She has been missing everyone here and is excited to come back and see what we've done and to see all of y'all again. The last thing that I have for y'all is I wanted to actually introduce Alex Cruz. He is our new finance manager out at the ballpark. I say new, he's been there for 2 months now. I wanted to make sure that you all got to meet him because to me it's important of financial transparency of what we're doing, why we're doing it. That's why I have the event recap for you as well. So I wanted you all to see him and know who he is. So if you see him, you know you can ask him a question, you know you can go to him. He keeps me in line, he keeps me straight. He says, hey, is that a good idea? So he's helping keep us on the right track, and I'm very appreciative for the efforts that he has had so far here at Cyclone. Is there any questions? That's all I have for y'all.
How are your sponsorships going?
So That is a great question. We are very close to a pouring rights sponsorship with Pepsi. We're waiting on final details. I have shared some of that with Charles, Mr. Lino. So we're waiting to kind of finalize it and again, make sure that it is a good deal for us because it is pouring rights and not just straight sponsorship dollars. We believe it will be, so we'll be able to move that forward. We also have the sponsorship banners. We have sold 6 of those so far at $250 a piece for local sponsorships. So businesses that can't afford our larger sponsored packages, that's for them to be able to do something.
How are those used?
Yeah, so at the ballpark, we have the main drive fence. So what we've done is for $250 for a whole year, you can put a banner right there along that fence. And as people come in or leave the ballpark, they're going to see it. And so they're able to do some advertising at the ballpark without having to spend thousands of dollars, which is one of the things I wanted to make sure we had.
So how many sponsorships do you have for those that are spending thousands of dollars?
Unfortunately, our main one is Chevron, and then Pepsi is looking to be about a value of $24,000 over the course of 5 years.
So what are you doing to get more sponsorships?
Yes, we have a gentleman, his name is Steve Wilson, that we were working with. He is working with our company as a whole at a few of the venues in Texas. His goal is to bring in those big sponsor dollars. He has talked with Academy, Dick's Sporting Goods. He has talked with dealerships out of Midland, several of the other oil companies outside of Chevron, trying to see what they're interested in and what we can get them to do. I think with us doing more and more, as we start to schedule more events, more programs, more things, it's going to make it easier for us to say, hey, we have this, do you want to be a sponsor for it? And once they become a sponsor, even at a low level, we can convince them to get higher level sponsorships.
So is anyone picking up the phone or knocking on the doors of any of these businesses to
Yes.
try and get them to do some sponsorships?
Yes, that is Steve Wilson's primary job. We are doing it on the local level.
Where is he?
He is in Houston right now, but he is actually coming to a visit at the end of the month, around the August 20th. He's going to be here doing on-site visits with vendors, getting them out to the ballpark, trying to get those sponsorship deals signed.
Probably really need a local person to go knocking on some doors and introduce themselves, saying, I'm with Cyclone. And, get your name out there and make them feel like you really want them to be a part of that
Yes.
happening out there.
And that's part of why he is coming, is so he can do those face-to-face meetings. And Christina is our marketing manager. She has been doing some local face-to-face stuff and getting out there and introducing. She's been the primary one for those local sponsor banners, of $250. But she has talked to several about potentially field sponsorships and other things. So she has talked to several. We just haven't had anybody bite yet.
You may have told us last time, but how's the tournament schedule going? That's where we really benefit is
Yes.
the hotels, the restaurants.
Yeah, so unfortunately, we don't have any right now. We have had just trouble convincing certain vendors to come out, certain rights holders. Unfortunately, some of them don't have the best mindset about coming to Pecos for one reason or another. And so we've been working to convince them that, no, this is a great place to come play, and this is the place you want to play. And that's where trying to talk to some of those other vendors that we haven't worked with in the past, I think is going to be where we actually can strive for excellence, because we'll have people who, whatever reason, haven't decided that they don't want to come here. We can convince them to come here, and to me, that's going to tell those other vendors, hey, actually, I want to go back because now they're successful. I want to beat them. So that's where 2D Sports is going to be really big for us, I think, because they're ready to move fairly quickly. We're waiting to hear what dates they want to do.
What's the TV stand for?
It's 2D.
2D?
Yeah, as far as I know, it doesn't actually stand for anything. It's just 2D. But they primarily focus on baseball and outdoor volleyball. Those are the tournaments that they provide. And one of the reasons I do like them is they do a 6-tournament series. So it would be 7 tournaments guaranteed for us, 6 tournament guarantee for those who register, 3-game guarantee at each tournament. You get enough points by winning enough games, you get to advance to that final tournament. So for us, it turns into 7 guaranteed tournaments that we would be hosting here in West Texas.
What's a national deal with competition? I mean, to gain them points, they play tournaments in Florida and other
Yeah.
places to get points.
Yeah.
So what are the reasons that they're saying they don't want to put tournaments here in Pecos?
One of the reasons was they don't feel that there's enough to do in Pecos. And I personally disagree, but that's the feeling has been, unfortunately. One did tell us that they wanted to come, but they didn't feel there was enough to do in Pecos compared to a tournament that they were already hosting that same weekend over in California. That was apparently a larger town and had more stuff to them. So unfortunately, that is one of the reasons. We do know the water park is going to help with that, and the other stuff that the EDC is working on is going to really help with that. And we are trying to make efforts on our side of what we can do at the ballpark to combine a tournament with maybe a carnival or maybe other things, so that it doesn't matter if what you do in Pecos, we still have fun things for you to do.
Well, who does the marketing for the platform?
That would be Christina. Christina Gill, she is our primary on marketing. She does work with our marketing group at home office in Florida to help create marketing materials and stay on track with what we're trying to do.
And you have sponsorship packages already made up, so you can offer different levels?
Yes.
And how is that being put out to businesses?
We're reaching out to businesses directly and getting it in front of them. We recently got the actual sponsorship deck. That was something Steve Wilson was working on. So that's what we're starting to put in front of businesses and show them that what our options are.
Is that on your website?
It is not right now, but that is something we are looking to add, yes.
Do you
That'd be a
advertise
good way
on the
for
radio?
people to know. Yeah, have more advertising.
We do have advertisements on the radio, and that is something, again, we update that on a regular basis, so we're going to be building that into our regular advertising.
I think the more, if you start getting a lot of tournaments going on, I think that'll help the sponsorship.
Yes.
I wouldn't want a sponsorship,
Exactly.
tournaments going on.
Yeah, and that's where the conversations that I've been having are heading in that direction, and we are getting close. Some of them closer than others. And I think once we start having some, the others will follow suit because they'll want to get in before somebody else gets all their spots.
And this is also the time of year everybody's working on budgets, so this is the time, good time to get them well over.
Yes. Yes.
And get it budgets.
You all pleased with the Pecos Bill deal?
Yeah, I mean, the players and the team were all great. It was great working with them and getting to see their excitement for baseball. And I know we had a lot of good feedback about the complex and having an actual locker room. We utilized 2 rooms for an away team and a home team locker room. So overall, I was happy from that standpoint. I would love to see more people in the stands because for me, obviously, as you saw, that turns into revenue for us. And our goal is to try and drive that revenue so that we can make our money back to do all the other cool things we want to do.
And how much does it cost to get in?
That I believe it's $10. That'd be a better question for the Pecos Bills. We do not charge for entry. That's Pecos Bills.
Okay, well, for any tournament, what do you charge for something that watches the tournament?
That is going to be dependent on the tournament provider. The 2D Sports that we talked to, they said their entry fee is $10 to come out and do the weekend. So it does depend on the tournament provider. If we're doing it ourselves, I would never charge more than $5 to $10 max because I want it to be where people can come out and enjoy the ballpark for the day.
So the more people you get in, the more your concession sales go up.
Exactly.
Buy one, get one free, 2 for 1, however you want to advertise
Yeah.
it. You might consider something like that too, because that might be the way to get them out there.
Yes. And that's where those combos that I mentioned that we started at the very end of the Pecos Bill season, I think are going to help us going forward.
We have to have events out there first to sell the combos.
Yes.
Any other questions? Thank you.
All right, thank y'all.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go on to item F3, discuss, consider appointing, reappointing 3 seats for the Planning and Zoning Board and Board of Adjustments. 2 board seats and 1 alternate.
Mayor and Council, in your packets, you'll find 3 applications for, these would be reapplications. These 3 currently serve on our P&Z board. We did have a few people come in and ask for applications. These were people that would have never served on the board, but unfortunately, they never brought their applications back in. So as of right now, I have 3 applications that could cover the 3 terms that are up. Yes. And I did want to note that if you see the list that's in the packet, it shows you everyone that is currently on the board and their terms. We do have a alternate seat open, so I would like to still advertise and hopefully recruit someone to eventually come in and become an alternate. And I was speaking with someone yesterday. She was interested in that position so she could sit and learn. So hopefully if I can convince her to eventually bring the application, I would like to bring that back to fill that spot.
Are all three willing to be on the board again?
Yes, they submitted their
showing interest.
applications.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And I can say right now, from comments from Wendy and Cindy, we have a very strong board right now. They're very interactive. We actually were planning a P&Z training for them, so hopefully within the next month or so, we'll have someone come down and do a training with staff and them, and so it's nice to have people that are interactive.
I'll make a motion to approve Sal Nichols and Jennifer Thomas for the terms and Ruth Davis as the alternate. Is that what you wanted?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. As it has been.
I'll second it.
I have a motion from Councilwoman Sills, a second from Councilman Graham, to approve the appointment and reappointment of these three seats to planning and zoning. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries.
Thank you.
We'll go to item F4, discuss, consider resolution 24-07-05R, a resolution approving a letter of support for the Tolliver Power Plant and authorizing the city manager to execute all necessary documents.
Mayor and Council, these documents were approved at our last council meeting through executive session, but it wasn't worded exactly as a resolution. So this is just me coming back to ratify and give it a resolution number for filing purposes. It's the same document, everything that was approved at our last meeting. It's just so that I can, for filing, I can have it stated, motioned on with a resolution number.
So this is the same thing that we,
It's the exact same thing. Nothing changed on it. It's just for filing purposes.
Maybe a dumb question, but why the question mark is on the first paragraph?
Yeah, on the letter.
On the letter?
Yeah. I was wondering the same thing.
Let me see.
It's just the way the Word document printed out, it's not actually that way.
yeah, there's a lot of questions all over the.
It looks like it's the letter T.
Yes.
The letter T
It should be T
is-
where he converted it from Word. He probably converted it from Word to PDF to Word.
The letters TI are replaced with question marks, so we need to fix that, but it is the same document.
Can you fire the word processor?
Well, that was Mr. Nance. That was Mr. Nance. I believe he presented that in executive session to you all.
Well, this is the same one, I'll make the motion that we approve resolution 24-07-05R.
Second.
Okay, have a motion from Councilman Saldana, a second from Councilman Arona, to approve resolution 24-07-05 as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries.
Thank you.
We'll go to item F5, update on the inaugural Pecosville season and future plans. Kathy Garcia.
Good afternoon. I apologize if I cough in between me talking. I've had a bad cold past couple of weeks. Mayor, City Council, thank you for having me this afternoon. I just wanted to give a quick update on our first season with the Pecos Bills here in Pecos. Our season record was 14-38, which, although it seems kind of sad about the numbers, we actually made history in our Pecos League organization. We're the first inaugural team to have that many wins in our portfolio. So, congrats to the guys on a well-battled season. It's been a very welcoming journey for the entire team. We are building an incredible bond with the community. Expectations can vary, but the team took big strides to exceed them, especially in their debut season. The first year, our focus was about building a solid foundation, as it is about the games played. It is time to establish a positive team culture that will carry the team through the season and beyond. A new team needs to bond and work well together. So I think the team did really well this season being here. They came from all over. We had several guys from the Dominican Republic, California, all over the U.S. We had one here from Japan that actually left the team he was playing with. He left Japan to come play over here. So pretty exciting for us. I just wanted to give what's in store for next season, kind of just let you know what we're working on right now. The first thing, we are launching actually next week a new elite sponsorship program that we're pretty excited about. We were very fortunate to have several sponsors for this first season. We had a total of 12 sponsors. It came out to about $75,000 to $80,000. So we did very well for our first season. The Pecos Bills, a new elite sponsorship program, is going to be called the Victory Circle. This exclusive initiative is designed to bring the club's most committed supporters in a unique and compactful way, aimed at furthering the success of our athletes and enhancing community engagement. The Pecos Circle is more than just a sponsorship program. It is vital. It is a vital component to the Pecos Bills Baseball Club. So we're pretty excited about this. We're actually going to launch this next week. We do have a small team at the moment that is working. Most of these positions that we have are voluntary, but after speaking with Andrew last week, some of the positions that we'll have available, we will be paying these people to go out. So one of the positions that we have is a marketing person. So we were going to have somebody with our team that will market, and there's different types of marketing. For a baseball team, it's a lot different, which I'll share some of the programs that we're going to have for our marketing team. Next, we'll have a new mascot. We'll be heading for our second season, so we're pretty excited about that. The Pecos Bill staff, Nick Natividad and Daniel Alvarado, there are computer software guys. They're actually going to be working with Cyclone, with Thomas, to kind of enhance our streaming, because our streaming was not the best. So we're going to partner with Cyclone to kind of see what we can do to enhance it, to make it better, the features. What else? So at this time, Andrew received this letter from one of our teams that visited here in Pecos, and he wanted me to read this to everybody so that you know that everybody enjoyed coming to Pecos. Dear Andrew, we want to give props where it's due. The newest team to the Pecos League organization, the Pecos Bills, had a very impressive season. Inaugural teams are not supposed to have a season like the Bills did. They are winning games, being competitive. The Bills team has some world-class players on it. I think we can all agree that every team that traveled to Pecos by far chose Pecos as the best place for accommodations given. I know this had everything to do with the staff that you have there. Kathy and her team did such a phenomenal job, from the check-in to check-out to booking, making sure the itinerary for practice times and game days were set, and to make sure all the guys had everything they needed while they were in Pecos. The two Sansa girls were extremely impressed with Kathy and her team. Her hard work and dedication shows that she generally cares about the success of the Pecos Bills and the Pecos League organization. Very much an asset to us. Until next year, looking forward to playing in Pecos, hospitality at its finest. This is from Sean McNeil from the Tucson Seguros. So I want to explain the hospitality part, because it's not just us. It has everything to do with the community. Our housing people, Gabe with Target Logistics, he's the one that housed all our out-of-town visitors. They did an amazing job supporting us on that. The facility, we're playing at, a world-class facility and a world-class team. All we lacked was, support, the fan support. Our expectation going into this year was that we expected more fans that we did not get. I will say that the last week of the season, we had a lot of fans out there. So we're glad that people came in support, at least to come and see one game. At this time, I wanted to talk about the marketing, because I know that was a cause for concern with the Bills. Normally, marketing is done differently for a baseball team. It's not so much of if you're marketing a brand, but it's different. So I have been working with the general manager from Garden City. They are very much well vested in the Pecos League. They've been doing this for 10 plus years. Easton Barnes, he's done an amazing job. They have over $200,000 in sponsorship revenue. They're very well established. So me and Daniel have been working with him the past couple of weeks to try to come up with something that will help us for next season, which this will not start, this is going to start immediately. It's not, we're going to wait till February or March. This is something that we have to start right away. So social media engagement, just making sure that all our platforms, that everybody is sharing and liking our pages. That's very important. I think Daniel did an amazing job on our marketing. You know, we have over 1,000K plus followers now. That's pretty big for us. Personalized marketing, we're going to tailor marketing efforts to individual preferences using our data analysis. So we are working on that right now. Daniel is working to try to stream that to see what our need is right now. Influencer collaborations, we are going to definitely collaborate with a lot of nonprofits. Nonprofits is the key to making this a success. All the teams that we've talked to, being as this is our first year, that is the way to go. It's word of mouth. You bring all your nonprofits in, let them come and celebrate with the team, throw the first pitch. It's word of mouth. So they'll come in and they'll let people know that the Pecos Bills are here. Localized marketing, we will have somebody here that will be doing the marketing for us, going door by door, business by business, just making sure that everybody knows about the Pecos Bills. Player branding, that's a big focus on ours, encourage players to build their own personal brands. We have a lot of these guys that market their own things. There's a guy that sells bats on our team. There's a guy that does threading for the gloves. There's several things. So player branding is going to be really big for us this coming season. Affordable pricing. We are going to change our pricing on the ticket sales. Sometimes $10 seems like a lot, so we're going to change that range for next season. Merchandise. We are going to create a different platform for merchandise. It's kind of hard out there when we're outside. We don't have really a whole lot of room, but we are working on a different type of platform to sell more merchandise. And yes, we did have some baseball cards. I do have some in my backpack, actually. And then community programs, just getting the community involved. Having them come out and support. Every day we'll have different theme nights, promotions on our schedule. I know that we're working on the schedule right now, and I think we're doing Monday, we're going to do during the week, and then we'll do 2 weekends out of the month to kind of get the weekend people to come out and support. But that's basically all I have. It was our first season. The guys loved it. We do have some guys that actually stayed. They're working here. They found some jobs here. So they're here to stay. So if anybody has any questions for me.
Did you do any on the radio? Did you advertise on the radio?
No, we didn't, and that was per Andrew, the owner. He felt that the pricing on it was way too much. It was way too much what we can afford.
The newspaper or anything like that?
The newspaper we did, and actually Roxanne Chavez was out at every single game. And we applaud her for doing that. She takes amazing pictures. We were in the paper every week. So, yes, we did work with the newspaper on that. Trust me.
I know the social media because I actually see the advertisement on the social media. And that's what it takes. It takes, the marketing piece, going out into the community, especially like a small community like this, to go out there word of mouth. Because, some of these people, like I don't read the paper hardly. I listen to the radio in the morning or in the evenings, and so that's where a lot of this people. Now, social media is a different animal because the younger kids. But the promotion is, to me, the marketing is going after the kids that actually play baseball. That are interested in what, like I know you all had a young man that's a senior now,
Elijah, yes, he was our bat boy.
Yeah, and just because of that, I was there a lot because my grandkids wanted to be able to go to friends with him. Just to be there, And so, we need to market it. I mean, we got 14,000 people here that live here. But we also have a lot living outside the community that are you know, in the man camps, that those guys come off of work and they need something.
Yeah, and it's
And
kind
that's
of,
what you need to target,
Yeah.
I believe.
it was kind of hard for us because it's a team built of 4. I literally have 4 people on the staff. We all have full-time jobs. So going out there, so now it's like Andrew, you know, speaking with Andrew, the owner, we need to expand our team. We need to get the word out. You know, everybody knows we're here, but we need to draw them to Cyclone. We need to bring them. I will say that kudos to Thomas. He did do an amazing job. He was very accommodating. He helped us out. The guys had very good rapport with him, so I do want to commend him. We do work well trying to come up with, you know, specials and whatnot. But yeah, if it doesn't help our pocket, it doesn't help his pocket. So we're working together to try to collaborate and partner together to make it successful for both of us.
You know, it'd be nice to, you know how, in the bigger communities where you have professionals, the Cowboys or San Antonio, stuff like that, for the guys, the young men that are actually playing ball, to come out into the community, to, you know, to mingle with the community at the stores or restaurants, you know, just to so that people can, I know when we did the 4th of July parade, or the parade for the rodeo parade, when they came out in the truck and all that, while they were out there preparing to go, there was a lot of kids just coming around because, and I said, man, they don't know who they are, but because of their jerseys,
Yeah.
you know, and that's, I mean, you know, we're not a big community, but it's a close-knit community.
Yes.
And that's where we need to take advantage of the marketing to go that way.
You know, there were a lot of things. You know, we had a total of 14 camps set up. By number 4 camp, we didn't have anybody show up. So that was kind of discouraging, you know, seeing that as well. You know, Pecos is known for baseball, and to see not, but the youth, you know, the ages between 9 and 12, oh my God, them going to the dugouts, trying to get autographs, it was just amazing. It's a leadership for them to see these guys. Some of these guys did practice, you know, had close sessions with these guys, with young youth. It was word of mouth. We put it on social media. Hey, these guys are doing lessons. If y'all are interested, just come out, contact me, and then I put the contact with them. So, yeah, it was a really good experience for all of them. Some of the returners will be back. Now's the time to recruit and get different ones coming in. So our coach, Lincoln Gums, we're actually going to build on his team. He'll have several more coaches this coming season because it was a lot to handle, just him and an assistant. He definitely needs about 4 or 5 guys. It's over 30 guys that we're dealing with. So I have to deal with housing, making sure they're eating, providing the transportation and whatnot. It was a lot for the summer, but we managed and we did it, and we look forward to doing it next season.
I know when you did your ribbon cutting for the Pecos Bills, it was a pretty good turnout, but I think
Yes.
a lot of people were a little disappointed there was no Pecos Bills there.
Yes.
So what was the thought process?
So that was something Andrew decided not to have them come out, the veterans. A lot of them were in training. So for them to come out, it was cost to us because a lot of these guys that are traveling, they're flying out here, so they're not bringing their transportation. So we're having to accommodate, and being our first year, you know, we just didn't have the funding at the time. So everything cost, you know, we spent a lot this season, but all our sponsors that we have this season are coming back. They've already, you know, verified through a verbal agreement for renewals. And then plus this new sponsorship package, yeah, but we plan to start spring training the 1st of May. We're not going to wait till the end of May. We're going to start the 1st of May. And Austin Weirdos was actually one of the teams that came out to do spring training with us. We've got 3 requests now that they want to come out and do spring training. So, but that's something that we have to iron out with Cyclone and fields and things like that to see if we're able to accommodate. So, thank you.
Okay, item F6, discuss, consider entering into a 20-foot right-of-way agreement with 115 Oliver LLC, a Texas limited liability company, for proposed development located in .799 acre tract out of their 25 acre tract as recorded in document number 202-40531, real property records of Reeves County, Texas, and being out of the J.N. Newell Survey number 24, abstract 1469, being located in the county of Pecos City, county of Reeves, state of Texas. That is a mouthful. I did it. Sorry, you just missed it.
Mayor and Council, Charles Leno, City Manager. I know this item was up here for Parker Johnson, our city attorney. He's running late from court. He told me he's on his way, but I don't know when he's going to get here. With this item, this is what we've talked about a little bit in the past with the gas plant that is looking to locate right off of Tolliver Road. And when we were looking at their plans and everything, there was no right-of-way on there. And so we requested from them to grant us the easement that we needed on there that the city is going to have on any thoroughfare like that. And they were more than willing to accommodate. Parker has reviewed this agreement, and he was going to ask, and I will ask that we go ahead and move forward with this and go ahead and execute the agreement. It is strictly for the city to have right-of-way on this new facility that's going to be built on Tolliver Road and 118.
Make a motion to approve this 20-foot right-of-way.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion from Councilman Graham, a second from Councilman Saldana to approve this right-of-way agreement. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, we are going to go into executive session. Under Government Code 551.071, consultation with attorney, 551.072, real estate, 551.074, personnel issues, and 551.087, economic development. And it is 6:50 p.m. session. It is 7:51 PM. Is there anything from executive session that needs to be brought to open council? Okay. Go on to discuss items for the next city council meeting.
I have a couple of complaints about 80th Street, not just for striping, potholes and condition. Can I put that on there?
Yes, sir.
You can, but we won't entertain it.
Did y'all catch that?
When is the next joint entity meeting?
Maybe possible. Thoughts on it?
September.
Be the end of the month, wouldn't it?
Yes. Sorry, it's not your fault. Your other.
What are we deciding?
I was just wondering when the next joint entity meeting was, if we wanted to wait.
I believe it
for
is on the
that, any
18th.
discussion.
I don't have it on my calendar, but I'm almost sure it's the 18th.
Just go ahead and put it on there. No, we can take it off.
Discuss possible convention center.
I have September 18th as a 2x6.
Is it 2x6?
Because usually it's like the last week of the
Then that would
month.
make it the 25th.
That sounds better. Is that a Wednesday?
Just pick a date, let's go.
It is. 25th.
It's a joint entity.
Yes, ma'am.
Anything else for our next meeting? Okay. And it is 7:53, and I will adjourn this meeting.